Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Zane here, back with another speed build. Today we built in Willow Creek. This is on one of the little small lots, the 20 by 15, and this is actually for a shell challenge. It's actually part of a kind of like a series shell challenge. It's the Abalamo Shell Challenge. Her name is Abalamo. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm probably totally butchering it. Sorry if I am butchering it. But I'm gonna have links for her Twitter and for the challenge down below as well. It ends. I think it's the end of this month. I want to say she'll be doing live tours on Twitch on, I think it's like the 1st or 2nd of May. But basically, for this challenge, she created 3 different shells, and they're all like themed around like a tiny build. So this is for the micro shell, which is really, really tiny. And then there's one for like a tiny shell and then a small one. I've also done the tiny shell. I'm not sure if that video will be out before this one or if this one will be out first. I haven't decided how I'm going to post them yet. But that one I did like a shipping container style thing in Evergreen Harbor, and I really like how that one came out. I have not done the third one yet. I don't know if I will. I don't have any inspiration at the moment when I look at it. Like for the tiny shell, the shipping container one, as soon as I looked at it, I was like, I'm gonna make shipping container house out of that. And so I did. And it was honestly a lot of fun. I love to do shell challenges when I'm just struggling to build just the shell of a house on my own. When I'm trying to build, I'm like, I really want to build, but I just, for the life of me, my brain is just like, we don't feel like making the shell today, Zane. So go find a shell challenge somewhere and use theirs. And so yeah, that's what this is for both of them. I just got really inspired when I saw both the micro and the tiny shells for her challenge. I was like, yep, I'm gonna do this. This looks like fun. That way I can build some houses and not have to activate the spatial reasoning parts of my brain when it comes to building the actual shell for like some of the Victorian houses I've built and different things like that, where it's just sometimes it's hours sitting there trying to get every little spot right. Especially there was one that was like a it was like a Cape Cod style house I did. This is before I actually started doing YouTube and recording anything. It is up on my gallery. I forget what it's called, but I based it off of like the picture of an actual house, and the roofing in the second floor was just so unnecessarily complicated, getting every little spot right and trying to get the roof not to clip into rooms. But there ends up being, I think it was like a bathroom or something that was actually tucked into one of the roof pieces because there was just no other way to do it without making the roof ridiculously tall. And you couldn't, at the time, there weren't all the different wall heights that we have now, which I could have used that. And I could, I guess, technically go back in and revamp it a little bit. But just the very tippy top of the walls clipped through the roof, and it drove me mad. But the house itself ended up looking really, really close to the picture. I was pretty proud of myself for that one. It was around that time I actually decided I was going to start trying to record stuff, but that was back when I was just playing on a laptop before I actually built the computer I have now. Because I had been saving up for a while to actually build my own computer and wanting to do it, because I work from home, like even before this past year, before 2020, my job's remote. I work at home, so it'd just be nice to have a desktop at my desk instead of a little tiny laptop that I'm kind of hunched over trying to read emails and things on the screen. But yeah, as you can see, we've moved on pretty quickly to the inside, and I want to say most of this video, because the house itself is so small, most of it's exterior landscaping and like a back porch and like a little patio out there. I think I put like a chess table and some like little planter boxes and things like that. But most of this house tends to be outside. I went a little crazy. I will admit, I went a little crazy with the landscaping on the front side. I don't regret it. Regret it. Need to focus on my words a little better. But yeah, it's also, I wanted to do it base game originally. I came very close, and then I was like, I'm never gonna make an actual bed work in this space, so I used a little bit of tiny living for I want to say it's just the bed, and then like the little shelf that's above like the couch on the Murphy bed. I put some books and some candles and things like that up there, and some pictures as well. And the pictures work fine when you put the bed down, but like the books and stuff I just put up, I play tested it just to make sure that she could actually get over to the bed and bring it down and everything. So the candles and the books, if you bring it down to actually sleep on it, they're just going to kind of float there. I'm just going to call it magic. They're just going to float there. But I think it looks pretty nice with a couple little pictures and, just some more clutter up there to liven the space up a little bit, because it is not a lot of space to work with, but I had a lot of fun renovating it using a lot of whites and blue tones. Oh, and I used cats and dogs as well. So this is base game, cats and dogs, and tiny living. And for cats and dogs, I think it's just the curtains, because I could just I don't know, me and base game curtains were not friends. There's like maybe one curtain that they have in the base game that I'll use like fairly consistently, but the rest, we're just not friends. We're just not. And the one that's like my go-to, I forget what it's called, but it's like kind of like the long one for like a single panel window that kind of is like clipped off to the side, so it looks like it's been pulled back and it's got like a little more shape and definition to it. But because of the windows I put on the front wall where we've got like the blue curtains, yeah, those windows there with the big shutters on the outside, because of the way I like alt place them like right over top of each other, the way the curtains place, just even when I tried to alt place them, they just didn't look right. So it's just like, you know what? Let's just add some cats and dogs. Everyone likes cats and dogs, probably. Both the pack and the animals, which I don't know. Sometimes I regret getting that pack because I do gameplay, and this will probably be spoilers. I don't know if any of you watch uh, my Legacy Challenge, but we adopted a dog. She's a little astronaut dog. And then originally I wanted them to adopt a cat, but the cats were always like all the way across like the lot, and by the time I would get over there, they would be booking it off to the beach because I'm playing in Brindleton Bay for my Legacy, and it never worked out. But I finally got a cat. I won't say which cat, but we finally got a cat in my Legacy Challenge, and now I'm in this tiny little house with a screaming baby and two Sims and a cat and a dog, and I just did not I did not think that through, but they're so cute. I love them. I love playing with pets in this game. I wish there was more you could like do with them, but it's cute to watch the toddler hug them because the kid's a toddler now. She's doing pretty good, but I don't know. I like having the pets. I wish there was more interactions and things you could do with them. I wish we had maybe like, I don't know, like reptiles and things like that, some hamsters and not just the little rodents, some more pet options. I know when I was a kid, technically we took care of one of my uncles. He had like a little chow puppy. We had her when I was like really small, like 4, and she was super sweet and super cuddly, but we lived in a townhouse that did not have a fenced in backyard that backed up to like a really steep hill where like the sewage plant was, because we're well, we were poor. We're a little less poor now. But yeah, we did not have the space for a dog, and I was in school all day, and my grandmother and my mom both worked because I was raised by both of them. So eventually we found like the people that we rented the townhouse from had like friends that had like a farm out in the country, like out in the mountains, and they had like a bunch of chow dogs that they just took care of. So eventually we got her, I think her name was Mariah. We ended up getting her out on that farm through them so she could have a better life, and so she wouldn't potentially bite children, because chow dogs have a, not all of them, but they can be a little bitey. A little bitey. I don't remember her ever snapping at me, but I was also like 4, so you can't really trust my memory on all of that. But then after that, I think we had a fish that did not last long. I remember there were blue rocks in the fish tank because I loved blue, and the blue Power Ranger was my favorite one, and everything had to be blue. And then I had one hamster who lived for like 3 or 4 years. Her name was Max, and she always escaped her cage. And we also had like mice or rats or something in the house. I don't remember what, but we had like little traps for them and like little rat poison things around so that we could try to get rid of them because I don't know, we don't like rats. We didn't stand rats at the time, I guess. I don't know. Kind of a weird thing to think about now because I would not do that. I would just try to get them out of the house on my own and not poison them or kill them. But yeah, but she would. Yeah, Max was a little escape artist. She always got out of her cage, and we literally found her eating like the poison pellets at one point when she got out. She did not die though. She lived, which was crazy. But that's when we stopped with the rat poison pellets, and I think my mom called an exterminator or got the landlord through. I don't remember. I'm rambling about everything and nothing. As you can see, we're moving on to my slightly over the top landscaping out the front. I honestly, most of this lot's cost is just landscaping because I did not use any debug landscaping because I didn't feel like scrolling through debug. So this is all actual budget landscaping. But we're just gonna put a little chair on the front porch, just a little spot so you can sit out and look. And with that, we are about to go into screenshots. We are basically done here except for a few more plants. So if you like this video, if you want to see more speed builds, they will be linked at the end. You can also check out my page, etc., etc. Please do like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 or don't. It's up to you, and I will see you guys for the next one. Bye, everyone.